With 3 picks in the top 60, the Philadelphia Eagles are ready to add more youth and depth to one of the league's most loaded rosters. The Philadelphia Eagles have every reason to expect another Super Bowl run in 2019, even if they've lost their ultimate security blanket in Nick Foles. Carson Wentz is the face of the franchise and, as long as he can stay healthy, the Eagles are one of the league's top teams with 3 picks in the top 57 of the 2019 draft to add even more talent and depth. State of the team contending. In 2019, Philly will welcome back one of the best playmakers this franchise has ever seen, Deshaun Jackson. Then, there's the franchise. Everyone with short-term memory loss seems to have forgotten that, in 2017, Carson Wentz was a legitimate MVP candidate. Also, when they mention last season's struggles, rarely does the fact that he had a broken bone in his back come up. He'll be back as well, hopefully at 100%, and the Eagles will be right back in the hunt as one of the NFC's best teams. Verdict: place Philly in the category of being contenders for another NFC crown. Total draft picks. The Eagles enter the draft with 7 picks, including 3 in the top 57 overall. Round 1, no. 25 overall, Round 2, no. 53 overall, Round 2, no. 57 overall, Round 4, number 127 overall, Round 4, no. 138 overall, Round 5, no. 163 overall, Round 6, no. 198 overall, top 3 draft needs running back. We've long heard the argument that unless there's a can't-miss prospect, you don't take running backs early in the draft. Philly's reason for doing so, if that is indeed what they are thinking, is they are as close as you can get to being labeled as desperate at the position. Over the past 2 seasons, they've added Josh Adams and Corey Clement as undrafted free agents. Then, there's Wendell Smallwood, who just keeps finding a way to hang around, along with Boston Scott. Donald Pumphrey is signed to a futures reserve contract, and so far, the Eagles have done nothing in the way of adding a running back during free agency. If there was ever a time that the Birds needed to use an early draft pick on a ball carrier, this would be that time. Guard, center, Jason Kelce is the only center on the Eagles roster. Brandon Brooks is a stud at guard. That leaves an unproven Matt Pryor as the only reserve that most of us would recognize without using a Google search, and the versatile Isaac Seumalo, who can play guard but would be kicked inside to center if anything was to happen to Kelce. Depth has played a part in team success before. Injuries are a part of the game. Philly may want to go with some beef to give themselves some options if anything were to happen. Defensive line. On the other side of the ball, Jordan Hicks is gone, LJ Fort inked a 3-year deal when the free agency period began, and Nigel Bradham's deal was reworked this off-season as well. With all due respect to Camu Grugier-Hill, no one thinks he's the second coming of Ray Lewis, so unless Philly plans on using the dime package as a base set, they may want to look at adding another interior lineman. At this point, it's safe to say that no one knows what Josh Sweat will become. Derek Barnett will be returning from injury in 2019, and Chris Long isn't sure if he still wants to play. After inking a well-deserved extension in the offseason, Brandon Graham is happy. Michael Bennett left shortly thereafter via trade. The Eagles added Malik Jackson this offseason to give Fletcher Cox some help, but Bruce Hector and Trayvon Hester aren't really long-term solutions. Top 3 draft targets. Christian Wilkins DL, Clemson's star defensive tackle Christian Wilkins has seen his name linked to the Eagles frequently after his visit with them during the NFL Combine. Don't be surprised if the Eagles use a high pick on a defensive lineman, particularly an interior defensive lineman. Joshua Jacobs RB, Alabama. Jacobs may be the best of the running backs available, but would he even be available at 25? Tyler Romer OL, San Diego State. The Eagles met with Tyler Romer at the NFL Combine, and he could be a nice developmental addition in the later rounds as an athletic option with nice size, 6'6", 312 pounds, who could blossom in time. decision-maker, or who to blame if things go wrong. Throughout their history, the Eagles have nailed a few draft picks, and they've stunk the room up. That happens, but now, they seemed to have righted the ship. Philly's draft process is overseen by their Vice President of Player Personnel, Joe Douglas, and their Executive Vice President of Football Operations, Howie Roseman. Eagles head coach Doug Peterson is equally involved, as both Roseman and Douglas have stated on several occasions that coach is consulted about each prospect and who he feels might be a fit. Best, worst pick in current draft slot. Historically, who was the best pick and the worst pick based on where the team is currently picking? Best pick, Jermaine Mayberry. Oh well, no. 25 in 1996 NFL Draft. Mayberry started 96 games for the Eagles over the course of 9 seasons with the team, including a Pro Bowl appearance in 2002. Worst pick, Freddie Mitchell. WR, no. 25 in 2001 NFL Draft. Despite hauling in one of the greatest catches in team history, Mitchell might have been one of the worst picks in Eagles history, and Philly probably should have gone another route with that one. Future Pro Football Hall of Fame inductees Reggie Wayne and Chad Johnson were both still on the board. More at Inside the Eagles. Let's block ads. Why?